Okay. Hi, welcome to my floor. I am technically on a hiatus/vacation from doing work, etc. right now. However, I just got back from Toronto where I was for the entire month of December, and all of my gear is in a bag, and I've been wanting to record a gear video for a really long time, and now all of my gear is in one place, and so I thought maybe it would be fun if we could sit on my floor in sweatpants together while it torrentially rains outside and talk about the gear that is in this bag. It's big. This is just going to be a bit of a gear tour, what I use for recording. I use for recording, mixing, streaming, etc. So, thank you for being here. My name is Lana Maddie. Let's jump into it. I don't think I have enough room. Also, no judging how messily packed this bag is. I didn't have cases for a bunch of the stuff that I have. So I've done the best. I've done the best that I can do with what I have, is what I'm trying to say. Also, Clive is here, but he is classically just off screen. Maybe we can risk. He's right there. Okay. This guy's sitting on the top. This is the Midi Fighter Twister. I amiably, I like to call it my twisty knobs. This is probably my favorite piece of gear that I've gotten in the last couple of years. If not maybe ever. This is 16 rotary dials. They feel really good. They all light up around the outside. I'm gonna hold it nice and close. You can customize all of the colors on each ring. For example, I use one of these for vocal panning, and this middle section here turns purple when it's back to perfectly middle, so I never have to worry that I'm a little bit to the left or right. But I love this thing. I love faders. I love being able to see how loud or quiet or, oh my God, my bangs need to just relax. I like having control over things, and this helps me do that and helps me really visually see what it is that I'm controlling. I also usually have it programmed for things like a low pass filter on my drums. I have all of my vocal loops, all the volumes and reverbs are set on here. I have one that just controls how loud or quiet my instrument mix is in general. Yeah, it's great. I think I have maybe 2 or 3 buttons on here. Buttons, knobs, whatever, that I'm not currently using for anything that I haven't programmed yet, but other than that, this whole thing is basically filled up. I love it. Highly recommend. It's a cool little piece of gear. Wow. Okay. Please excuse the dog hair and the dust. But this is my current little pedal board that I use for my electric guitar, which you can see back there. My electric guitar, by the way, is a Godin Montreal Premiere in white. It's a hollow body. I love it. I love my guitar so much. And this is what I use for effects on it. I do a little bit of EQ within Ableton when I'm streaming, but if I'm on stage really I don't add a whole lot in Ableton other than reverbs and delay and stuff. I have obviously just a standard tuning pedal. I use the Blues Driver one. I think it sounds really nice. I keep it relatively clean, as you can probably tell. I just like to keep it kind of warm, and I find that this one does a really good job at that. And then I have an octave pedal. I don't have a bass. I would like to get a bass, but in the meantime, I've been using this octave pedal, and it does work pretty well tone-wise. There is a tiny bit of latency. And so what I'm trying to play a boom, 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 whatever, kind of more rhythmic bass line on my guitar, and everything else in Ableton is quantized. I find that it is often just a millisecond or two behind, and it makes me insane. So anyways, it's a really good pedal, and I think if I didn't care so much about everything being perfectly in time, then I would speak more highly of it. It sounds good. It works. It does what I need to do, but it's not a good replacement for bass. That goes over here. Also over here, this is not in my bag. Currently, I'm using the Audio Technica ATH M50X's as my headphones. they're fine. They sound good. They do. They sound really good. I have no real complaints audio-wise, but they're not super comfortable for hours and hours of work. I have a little piercing on my ear here, and like it's never bothered me with any other headphones before, but these ones, for some reason, I do find that I get ear fatigue pretty badly with them. That being said, they're relatively comfortable most of the time, and they sound really good. So like, I don't mind. I wear them for my entire streams. I just find if I'm streaming and mixing or producing in the same day for many days on end, my ears eventually are like, oh my God, I don't want to wear my headphones anymore. So that's my feelings on them. But I do recommend them. I do think that they're a pretty good like step up from a more like basic headphone without breaking the bank. Someday I would like to replace them, but for now they do a good job. It's the big kahuna. This is the Push 2. Wow. Look at how beautiful. You can see my ring light in the reflection of the screen. Wow. This is the best thing I've purchased. It sounds really stupid, but it did kind of change my life. It changed the way that I make music. It changed the way that I perform music. This thing has gone on tour with me. It came to Toronto with me. I use it constantly while I'm streaming. This like one piece of tech is just, it's just so good. I know that there is alternatives to this one that are maybe more customizable, but if you're using Ableton or if you're wanting to software loop, it is so hard to say anything bad about the Ableton Push. I have the Push 2. I don't have the Push 3. I'll get the Push 3 maybe someday, but for right now, like, this thing does everything that I need it to do. And there's still things that I don't know what it's capable of, so it's hard for me to think about replacing it. But it sets up with Ableton so easily if you're new to software looping. I find that if you're getting like the Novation keypad 49 key launch, I'll put it up on the screen. If you're thinking about getting this one, which is the one that I often see as like, this is a cheaper replacement for the Push. And I know that there are presets that you can get and use to make it operate essentially like a Push. I think if you're getting started with software looping and you don't even know what you want at that time, you know, if I was made to program something custom the way I thought I was going to want it at the time, there's no way that I would have done the things that the Push has done without having already like held on to the Push. I know it's like a significant financial investment. If you can get one used, I know because the Push 3 has come out, a lot of people are selling their Push 2s, or if you can rent one and try it out and see if you like it. This thing has changed my life forever and changed my music forever, and it's really good. I highly recommend it. Ta-da! I built a wooden stand for it when I was doing stuff for making my desk. I also knew that I wanted a stand for the Push 2. I think you can buy one, but like that's literally 3 pieces of plywood cut to be like a little stand. So you can always make one for yourself if you want to. If you have the capabilities. I'm like out of breath. I want to talk about the last thing that's in this bag. Wait, this is the Arteria Kyab 49 keyboard. I have the big version of this keyboard. It's over here. You can see the edge of it. I have the 88 key Mark II. Here's a picture of it. I mainly wanted the Kyab because it has 16 pads on it as well as faders. And when I'm playing live, I want to be able to do vocal loops and cut down on the amount of gear that I have. And it's just a really, really, really good keyboard. It feels really good. The weighted keys feel really nice, but it's really heavy, like really, really heavy. And so we did the first leg of the tour with that one. And then when we came back to Toronto for a few days in between leg 1 and leg 2, I bought the mini version of it. It just meant that I had to cut down on my vocal loops, which was fine. It still has faders. This one doesn't have weighted keys, and that does bother me. They're very plasticky and bouncy. It does a great job. I love that it has the versatility that it has. It hooks up directly with Ableton. It's got transpose keys if you're the kind of person who needs to transpose things. I transposed down to play bass because it only has 49 keys. It is a little bit limited. It's more than enough for when I play live and for when I was streaming. So when I do a mobile streaming setup, when I was at my parents' over December, I had this set up with the push and the twisty knobs and, well, I mean, I guess everything that just came out of this bag for me to just reiterate what I've already said and shown you. And this was more than enough. It did a really good job for me. So this is the 49 key. I use the 88 key on a regular basis. I'm very excited to be back in my studio and able to use that keyboard again. This guy gets to go back in the bag. You're going back in the closet, buddy. Also, shout outs to this bag. I have no idea what this bag is. Is it a gator? It is. This is a gator case. It's awesome. I love the Velcro. It's like padded on the inside. Like the straps that hold down the keyboard are padded. The outside is padded. It fits a 49 key. I mean, you just saw everything I pulled out of that bag. Everything was in the main pocket of this bag. My pedal board, the push, the twisty knobs. My sustain pedal is in here as well. It's a really good bag. Yeah, okay, so this bag is done. Thank you for unpacking with me. Let's talk about other stuff that isn't in that bag that I do use regularly. This is the Neumann TLM 103 microphone. I love it to pieces. I got a little pop screen for it on Amazon, which is what this bit is. This microphone is incredible. I've recorded stuff on it without even putting any EQ on it, and it sounds really good. I love this microphone. I was lucky enough to receive this as a gift. And I do highly, highly recommend it, but I do also acknowledge that it is very outside of most people's price ranges. But if you wanted to save up for something, get something that's cheaper in the meantime, and then save up for the nice microphone. What other gear am I using? I also use a Focusrite interface. I'm currently using the 18i8 because I stole it from my roommate who, well, I didn't steal it. We traded. He has my 4i4 and I have more inputs than he does, and I stream and use it more than he does. So I was like, hey, can I just hold on to this and you can take mine? So we did a little trade. It's okay. I think that there are other interfaces that are also good, but Focusrite is a good entry-level interface. I think that the software is not amazing. If you're ever having issues with your Focusrite, make sure that you download Focusrite Control and take a look at what all the settings are in there. It defaults to a whole bunch of wacky bananas things. I cannot tell you how many people have contacted me in the past saying, Elena, I got this Focusrite. I hear my voice twice, and it's because in the software that they hadn't downloaded, it had monitoring on for the input for their microphone. Why is that the default? Why? And why do you have to download software to turn it off? There used to be a button on the front, and there's not a button anymore. Anyways, I think Focusrite's pretty good. Just make sure that you download the software so that you can take a look at that. My acoustic guitar is a Taylor GS Mini. I also love it very dearly. It sounds so good for a small guitar. I thought that it wasn't going to come on stage with me ever. I thought it was going to be like a at-home guitar. Just for streaming or just for being on my couch, and it's ended up being something that I took on tour with me, and I play on stage with it all the time. It sounds really good. It's nice and compact. It's comfortable to play. That's all I have to say. I currently am filming with a Sony a6400 camera. I have the Elgato ring light, and I think that's it as far as gear goes. Stream from a PC. There she is. There's the storm outside. When I'm remote, I stream from a MacBook Pro M1, and it honestly kills it. I've spent a lot of money over the last 4 years trying to make my PC be half the computer that my laptop is, and it's still not quite there. Say what you want about Macs. They know how to run music software. And I think that's it. Thank you for this kind of manic gear tour. Thank you for sitting on my floor with me for however long this video ends up being. I hope that you've all been well. I want to do more educational content this year. I can bring my nice teacher voice back and not my like crazy hectic voice for the gear tour. But if there is something specific that you want to know about or that you want to learn more about, I've been thinking about doing just another Push 2 tutorial, like basics, like my other one, just because I've learned things and I do things a little bit differently than when I first recorded that video a couple of years ago. Let me know if there's something that you'd like to see from me. Happy New Year. It's 2022. I hope that you are being kind to yourself. Yeah. Have a good day. Bye.